All right, my lovers, it's Monday. It's February 5th today. Yes, it's February 5th. So, I do these daily readings here on Instagram and YouTube, and I do the weeklies and the monthlies on the YouTube. There's a Patreon community. I share a little bit of yoga, meditation, vibration, and spiritual insights, first access ad-free to the Patreons, and the YouTube channel is just full of me rambling on for England. I moved to England in 2003 from Canada, and I never ended up returning, and now my life, my business, my community is in the UK, so life is weird, isn't it? And holla Shazam, everybody. Let's get into... Yay, Monday! Thank you. Thank you to the cards for this joyous occasion. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is just a great card. It's full of joy. Happy family. I think like all of us, we just go through different phases of life and have quite profound perspective shifts around, what's important. And increasingly, I just find the family support system and having, a healthy family dynamic, supportive family, all that kind of stuff is just like the pillars of a healthy and functional life. Regardless what that looks like, it goes a long way, obviously. So this is a great card. Let's get a few more energies for you guys for Monday, February 5th. Or whenever these messages come along. King of Pentacles in the upright. So some of you might have a bit of a shift financially. These are great cards, you guys. So, of course, it's going to be different for everybody, right, with these sort of general readings. But this is a really positive upturn. New beginning is taking shape. There's a new beginning coming in that's going to change the fortune. I think establishing that sense of, again, there's an evolution here too. I think for a lot of us, we're maybe going through a growth spurt with regards to our sense of mastery or our abilities, or even just a sense of confidence. It could be that maybe just putting a little bit of focus on the family dynamic or the home life, as it were, brings rewards. So spending time with the children, or spending time with our partners, or just spending time at home looking after the home brings a sense of worthiness or a sense of mastery. And of course, this is like a really positive thing. And then for some of you, it could be that this week is bringing forth like genius new beginnings, or just a sense of like vitality. Because say you've had a really restful weekend, or just a really joyous weekend with the family at home, and then that kind of re-energizes the zest for life. Wow, this is the Ten of Pentacles. So, however, there's a little bit of a shift here. Some of you, if you're dealing with children, there could be maybe an additional expense, or like the child is coming forth with a message, or you're simply getting a message regarding maybe an investment. Or again, if it's connected to a child, it's an expense that the kid brings to the table. Like, I want to go to this university. It's more expensive than where we originally discussed, but I'd really like to go. So it could be that you have a financial decision to make, which is prompting a bit of being reserved. Y'all, there's a Ten of Pentacles here. There's a Ten of Cups and a Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. So pardon me. I do feel like you've got like some financial decisions to make. The positive is this Wheel of Fortune, though. And of course, all these other positive cards around it, where it's like, wait for that moment that like, yes, we're going to invest in this. Yes, we're going to move in this direction. Yes, I want to move in this direction. Like for some of you, the Ten of Pentacles could come through different means, right? So the Ten of Pentacles could be coming through like taxation or certain losses, possibly. So like inheritances and yeah. So I'm hearing something like this Ten of Pentacles, right? Like money coming in, but I'm hearing the expression like coming in through the back door. So it's not necessarily like money we're earning. Again, with Emperor verse, I'm thinking this could be a loss of a significant loved one. Not to be, you know, depressor, but it's part of life, right? It's, you know, if I were to go off on a ramble, I would say that part of our sort of distorted paradigm is that we don't actually embrace and uphold death as maybe something, this is gonna sound maybe really weird, but something really beautiful, like that death is a part of life and it's a sacred passage. As in, I think we fear death and we often resist it, and I don't necessarily think that serves our human evolution and our consciousness. And again, that could be trigger warning after the fact. I apologize, but yeah, I personally, it's just my own belief system. I do believe in like eternal life. So, and I feel the depth of the human heart with regards to grief and pain, and not to deny that pain, but to embrace it as part of the human experience. Why can't it just be all flashy Instagram reels and everyone's smiling and happy all the time? It's like, that's wonderful. That's an aspect of our human experience, but so is death and decay. And look around us. I mean, corruption and war and these horrible atrocities, right? So I think we're, you know, truly at that time of claiming our power to decide. Like, that's just me going like, that's what I believe. That feels good for my heart. That's what feels more true. And so our ability to like discern and make up our mind for ourselves about stuff, I think is a PowerPoint, you know, a positive thing for all of us with regards to navigating these rather intense times. The Sun card reverse. You guys, this is such a good juicy reading as far as like nothing like crazy, but there will be some really positive upturns because now we have the Sun card here as well. A lot of inspirational, especially I think if some of us have been maybe in a I think somebody commented about Groundhog Day, and I've felt that too on occasion, where it just feels like we're doing like the same thing over and over again, and it almost like a plateau. Hence Wheel of Fortune. It's like, woo, you know, we're gonna go round and round. And the King of Wands coming through here is like, you've got some inspirational ideas coming through that warrant shining some light on them. Yeah, and somehow some of you are definitely gonna be investing or making some financial decisions, which is, according to these cards, more than likely gonna up level the financial realms, but possibly through the back door. So it might not be obvious, but then, you know, news comes in, or Emperor reverse is just making me think next to that Ten of Pentacles is like a grandfather figure, right? Or because it's an emperor, but I did pick an empress, so it could just be an elderly person in our family, right? Who's transitioning, and then there's a bit of money that is, you know, split up between parts of his family, right? Having money to support the stronghold, the homestead. Messages, I just pulled the Mercury card, so just be aware that there's likely to be messages coming in. There's definitely some transits happening in the sky that are signaling to this up level, as it were. Some of you, you know, it's a funny, there are some definite polarities and depth to this reading, but all in all, the upliftment card, the Sun card, there's a kind of a heavy flow of inspired and or more positive benevolent energy. So For those of you, I think, who maybe needed to hear this, as far as like, you might still be a bit held back. You might still be feeling protective over your resources. You might still be feeling like you have to be a bit like practical or reserved, but the momentum that you're building is really positive. Bearing in mind, a lot of the positive energy here is coming from your focus and or that commitment to the family, to the people closest to you, to the people you love, right? And then it's almost like through that determination, commitment to a positive expansion, you receive those high vibration downloads. You receive those sort of like, yes, this is the idea, this is the direction. And then even with children making demands, or certain people, or certain messages where you're like, ooh, do I make that investment? It looks like you'll continue to be guided into the proper investments. And like so many of these readings of late, just don't endeavor to not be too impulsive. Certainly don't make decisions, sign contracts that you don't feel comfortable moving forward with. And all in all, it's like following that feeling of upliftment, following that flow, basically. Yep. Yeah, knowing that when we come into that greater stillness, or even just taking a pause from that groundhog, right, from that day-to-day grind, that often we can find those spiritual reserves, or that I want to say, like, that sense of creative inspiration that really does, I think, sort of drive the human condition, that sense of creativity, which makes us want to show up, makes us want to be here. So have a great day. Feb 5. Welcome to February, everybody. Hal Shazam. Peace.